Gran Turismo is finally back with a proper sequel. Gran Turismo 7 is here, and I'm pleased to say it is very, very good. Gran Turismo 7 does really put you in that driving seat. It feels like I'm sitting there in the car with my hands on the wheel, but actually it's a DualSense. The DualSense is an incredible feat of engineering in this game. It's so, so good. Every curb, every bump, every gear change you feel through that controller, it doesn't quite match the experience of driving this game with a wheel, but it's so close. It's such an incredible experience. The first time you drive any car in this game, it feels so realistic. It feels so immersive. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, Gran Turismo is a nostalgia-driven franchise, I would say, and it really does feed off that, definitely. Gran Turismo feels like a Gran Turismo game in a good way. The driving is incredible, which I've mentioned already. 400 cars, 34 tracks. Licenses are back, and I'm pleased to say some are very, very difficult. Extremely difficult. To the point where you're fist pumping, you're cheering when you finally get that gold. It's such a relief. Also, you have sets of missions you can do, very similar to licenses. There's a bronze car you can unlock and a gold car you can unlock. Very addictive again. They're basically set targets. So over a set of corners, overtake a certain amount of vehicles. There is also a drift mode in it as well. There is a slipstream mode. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of content in this game. The rolling starts are there, and it's so frustrating that I feel like they should move on from rolling starts. I know it feels like a sort of Gran Turismo element that's nostalgia-driven, but the rolling starts are a major part of the career, single-player experience. Weirdly, in arcades, you can switch it to a grid start, which just makes it so much better. It does get so frustrating every event you start in last place, and I wish they sort of move on from that. The rolling starts don't feel like in any way a sim experience at all, and it can be quite frustrating. The AI has such a head start at certain events. It makes you feel like you want to turn down the difficulty a little bit at times. You want to maybe turn it down from a hard to a medium, or in a medium to an easy, just so you can actually catch up the guy in first place. The main single player experience is done through this menu system at a cafe. And I must admit, it does feel a little bit laborious if you're a Gran Turismo fan. But it's a good way to get free vehicles. It's a good way to learn a little bit about these certain manufacturers or these certain cars. It's a good way to unlock vehicles. It's a good way to get credits. And I recommend doing that early on. Let's talk about credits very briefly. They're hard to get. That 1 million credit car is going to take some grinding. To customize your car, to tune your car. It's going to take a bit of grinding. There's no doubt about that. And it can be a bit... yeah, I would like that to be tuned a little bit. I would like more credits for certain events. It just felt a bit long and grindy. Also, you can pay real money and top up your credits, which does feel a little bit wrong. It just didn't feel right when I saw that. In the very first episode, I eventually see that a little top up your credits with... Go to the PSN store, and my enthusiasm just drops to the floor. The credits are hard to come by. I hope that gets sorted out. Obviously, it's a pretty simple update. If they do decide to do that, credits take a bit of grinding. One thing that I'm going to chuck in at some point during this review is how I felt when I did actually customize a car, when I put brake discs in, new brake pads, new wheels, how I instantly felt the car was so much better. And then you eventually jump into the GT cars, the Le Mans cars, and they just stick to that road. They feel so different. Every car feels so unique and different in this game, which I don't think many other games do particularly well. I think it's the first time I jumped into a Le Mans car. I think it was during a license, and I was like, what the hell am I doing right now? Going flat out around some of these corners where before I'd be braking, but it's just stuck to the ground, and I loved it. Yeah, definitely something I noticed when I was playing. So let's talk about collecting cars. Obviously, you get free cars doing certain events, mainly through the menu, doing licenses, doing missions. You do get free cars, but there is a slight frustration. For example, you need an invite to go and buy a certain vehicle from Ferrari, which is what I got during my review period. So if I didn't have this invite, as far as I know, these vehicles would not be there. Also, older vehicles can be quite frustrating to get in the used car markets. Certain vehicles I was trying to look for an R33, for example, to do video on, it wasn't there. And as far as I know, there is no way to get it until it pops up again. It's an auto trader. An R33 isn't always going to be there, but it's a video game. I just want to buy a car. I don't care. Let me buy it. And it can be a little bit frustrating. The car customization, again, the body kits. There's a few surprises, but there's a lot of disappointments. The Supra, it's just slightly wider. It's barely worth buying. And again, these body kits, painting your car, it costs credit. So if it doesn't look good, I'm not gonna pay for it. So there's been a few times I've been disappointed, but I know I sound negative. In these reviews, it's sometimes hard to focus on the positives because the positives are so good. There's no doubt this game looks incredible to me. I love the look of this game. I've had it in the ray tracing mode, so in the replays, in the car showrooms, the cars just pop. They're shiny. They look gorgeous. The weather changing during an event is just incredible, and it's so distracting because it looks so good. The weather, I think, might be the best weather I've ever experienced in any racing game. Hitting that puddle, you feed it through the dual sense. The car slows down. You're trying to avoid the puddles. The track evolution as you go through that lap again. The puddles might be slightly less. The puddles might have moved. They might be bigger. It's just so immersive, and you're always on tenterhooks. My eyes were like stalks at times. It's such a good game. The music, which again is a massive nostalgia point for me in Gran Turismo, just doesn't hit like the old games. The Gran Turismo 2s, the Gran Turismo 3s, the track just isn't as good. It's actually quite disappointing, honestly, the music, but the car sounds. Hearing an RX-7 go past me in my Let's Play, I'm just like, wow, that sounds incredible. The car engines sound impeccable. Like so good. And obviously the tuning being back, the car customization is there. And the car customization is obviously better than previous Gran Turismo games, but I just wanted more with the body kits. Again, there's a few surprises. The Suzuki Swift has a really nice kit. I think the R34 has a nice body kit. There's not many good body kits at the moment. Again, hopefully with updates and stuff like that, patches, additional content that this game I think does need. I think it needs more tracks. I think it needs more cars. But the base is there. It's a very, very, very good game. And a game I would highly recommend. If I was going to score this, I would give it a solid 9. A solid 9. And that could definitely change over the coming months if they update certain things. I've had a tiny bit of experience with multiplayer, not too much. Yeah, really good experience. It feels like Gran Turismo. Back to its nostalgia, back to its former glory. Yes, there's still a few issues. Yes, there's still some old nostalgia things that probably need to be edited, like rolling starts, for example. It's a good base though. It's a really good base, and a game I'm very excited to play. A game that I want to go and play straight after I've recorded this review, because yeah, I'm in the zone. I'm really enjoying this game right now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my review of Gran Turismo 7. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Anything I didn't address, I probably forgot something. I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Be safe out there, and bye-byes.